Oh man, I've waited to record this Zoom intro for some time now since this happened back in May. But my two godfathers, father figures, role models, forever inspirations, Jedi master guiding forces who have made blockbuster movies together themselves and have now guided me into the starting point of hopefully one that the three of us will have the privilege of making together and rebooting something that purely was produced by one of them called They Live. I give you guys Larry J. Franco and Oscar nominee David Womark, producers of iconic films from Life of Pi to Big Trouble in Little China, They Live, Escape from New York, Incredible Hulk, Jurassic Park 3, Batman Begins, October Sky, most recently Deepwater Horizon, and Happy Gilmore 2. The two men that partnered with me, one of them to partner with Piney Woods School, and the other to lead forward a bid to buy Paramount Global. Two men who the end of their film career legacies should have been the world celebrating them, walking into leading forward a group of artists to own and run Paramount Global Studios. But instead, even David and Larry have had to deal with corporate collusion and legacy wealth. This is a Zoom call on May 27th, the same day that I also called out Jared Leto and left a video for TMZ. But these are my mentors, Larry Franco and David Womark, who literally taught me everything I know and gave me the confidence to finally become the director that I was born to be. Mr. Womark, hello.
Hello.
This is literally history, David, in the making right now.
Okay, my friend.
Oh, here he is. Oh my God. Dreams. This is literally a dream moment. Mr.
Well, you got to
Franco,
pay for dreams, buddy. You got to pay for those dreams.
they are paid for now, David, when I tell you what I've done.
Okay, I'm joking, my friend.
No, I know what we've done now. Larry,
I'm here.
hi, brother.
What's happening?
So, we own the Ocala Drive In movie theater together, which I also, and I'm not kidding, like legitimately, I have an agreement. We're partners with John Watsky, whose family invented the projectionist unit in New Orleans in the early 1900s. I created around the Pulp Fiction IP, which Lee Kaplan, who introduced me to the 14 billion, owns the trademark on. And I announced, because it's Tarantino's legacy and he had to sue Paramount last year to even make some NFTs, that upset me when I saw it. After I went through everything with you to try to chase the dream of They Live that I talked to David endlessly about. I've been sharing in this documentary I've made that's all about legacy and respecting the legacies of those that helped you get to where you finally did. So we bought the drive-in theater. It's the home of Lucille Studios and streaming platform, a non-profit film studio, because everybody that's an artist that makes it up to run that nonprofit, which is basically a big art fund now, owns the Dream It, Create It, Live It advertising agency. It will be the only one left by the time I'm done Doc Connect and Larry. And then also, we own the management company overseen by Young Dirty Bastards manager Danny Hamilton, Britton Hine, who basically discovered Michael B. Jordan,
and Joey Stanton, who discovered Glenn Powell, two pretty much the biggest male movie stars right now in our business. So then I met Raphael Burka, who owns Media Artist Group, used to be one of the larger private agencies, and his vision aligned fully with ours. And he offered us through the advertising agency or our hotel ownership group, because Tommy Bina gave us the Canyon Country Store brand to build a modern day Planet Hollywood ecosystem through a nonprofit that creates an art fund that basically all of these artists across the whole world run two companies that are actual corporations that everybody can have ownership shares in, that creates a decentralized ecosystem and literally completes they live in real life when you see the other verticals of the deck. I'm not kidding, Larry. This is the first time I've ever been on a call with both you and David. You
What is
guys were like,
David? I don't, is he here?
he's off video.
I'm here. I'm in the car. I'm on my
Okay.
way to the.
He joined us because
Yes, that's in your future, Will. In your
no,
future, you'll visit
I
the
know,
doctor.
but you
Yeah.
guys produced me into doing this. And
Yeah.
I didn't know that I had picked the character of producer to play, and some people are born and like chosen. So Larry, if because you could sit from your castle at home and not have to worry about doing anything, but we have so much IP and we're going to structure this like a DAO on the nonprofit side. And you know movies better than anybody I know. So you're kind of the gatekeeper organizer. And David, basically, because I'm not part of the studio, that's the whole thing, because I want to be directing movies. I want the studio geniuses that have done that at a level that are in this. That's why Rachel Winter was also at the Project Rise dinner, David, with you. And
Yes.
I called out in front of Disney last night, that corporation, because we're throwing a major telethon, and I've called all studios since we are one now, founded in my hometown, where we're making Pulp Fiction as an anthology series, and I have a team of lawyers. So I told Paramount they can sue me, and if that happens, then Project Rise Partners is really coming to light. And I also called out both Universal and Sony over stuff that we had discovered last year, because we have funding. At the end of all of these Zooms, when I launched the 24/7 channel, the entire documented journey that I've been in conversations with Sam Peck, who you introduced me to, Larry, at Bloomberg about.
Mhm.
And I turned my real life into documentary, and all of us are part of that. And I'm not kidding. And I've said this before, it's going to be big, but David led me down the path, Larry, creating this. We built the biggest self-publishing ecosystem, privately owned, that operates through a nonprofit that has business verticals and everything from global commodities to decentralized internet to fund everything, since it's a nonprofit studio. But all the artists get paid like they're making studio movies. But now we control the largest advertising ecosystem in the world because of Tony Kaye being connected in, all these writers, A-list actors, best friends of legacy pieces. It's all about building around a legacy. So I turned all that into a major ad campaign for Coca-Cola. And Robert Buell has been doc connecting that for the Who Are You Going to Share a Coca-Cola campaign with, because David and I cheers Coca-Colas at Canyon Country. Tommy Bina offers them to everybody. It's all about legacy and how all of that originated at Canyon Country. And that place is such a tree of life ecosystem because it's on reservation land. So we've built pillars in a nonprofit focusing on every culture. And then we own land with partners in this, from Houston to Jamaica, to build these human experience hotels on connected arts and entertainment with volume studio sound stages for shooting ad spots, where people can come stay in a hotel like Disney Vacation Club and go on this world literal tour and experience a different like hologram show or something else at each venue. And it's all designed by the oracles in every field. And you're overseeing the film side, if you'll bless me, or just be on set with me for all these movies I'm directing. Because I also basically have called out a few forms of abuse that I saw, that I lived through, that I witnessed with my own eyes, to our A-list actress. And David's known about some of this stuff for years because it's come up in the past through a friend of ours, Jason Dolan, talking to me about it. But then I got to live it firsthand.
Mm.
And this is so much bigger than us. We have a social justice platform. We're connected to Ben Crump. I have advertisers in discussions to brand that platform, the first debut of it, so it can always stream 24/7 to shine a spotlight, a literal bat signal, Larry. No pun intended, but that's what the Master of the Universe is done. And so it'll showcase all of us, the Piney Woods Zoom call, everything we've done since you and I met with Will Crossley, which to get people to understand the level of this and the seriousness that we were taking it drove me insane because everyone gets focused on one movie so they can get a paycheck. What'd you always say to me, Will, when you gotta get some money? I'm like, I'm just being guided, man.
Well, those are the two biggest questions for me is what do you need from me? What do you want me to do?
Run the
And
studio.
is there any money
with-
coming through all this?
Yeah, I have a call that I sent David. He's heard it. Michael Orsini will happily get on a phone call with you. He talked to my parents. They've offered me the private jet. If you want to fly anywhere, we have it. We're going to Shanghai. I also put a plan together with China. That's why I'm going there. For Big Trouble in Little China Part 2, I wrote an entire 40-page treatment. I'm going all in,
Big
Larry.
trouble.
Good for you, Will. Way to go.
Yeah.
And you too.
Will. Hey,
Yeah.
Will.
Yeah.
I spoke to the Chinese government. It needs to be called Big Trouble in Big China, not little. They don't like little.
Okay. But
Yeah.
if you two will do me the honor of finally being in a room together with me at the same time, and let's really hit start on this, Larry, I just need, so you would oversee the male leadership side of the studio. Just if there's any like oracle decision that needs to be made, it comes
Right.
down to you because of your path you've walked. And I've called out already Stacy Snyder because the co-CEO and all this, well, that's her brother-in-law, Robert Russler, starred in
Yes.
my movie. I finished the lookbook for the movie Pucks. I'm not sending anybody a script. And because it's one of the best things ever and it's a horror film and I want to keep stuff secret. Larry, I'm tapping into stuff I've learned from you from the 80s. So you're going to get to read it and David's going to get to read it. That's it.
Okay.
I've already announced the cast. I did all this with no agent, just relationships. I have Coca-Cola who's going to pay for it because what I'm delivering them is a story of literally David versus Goliath, but all of David's friends. And I had a Larry and David with me. There's so many parallels. And you see, I had to go home and establish legacy, a place where John Travolta lives, the star of Pulp Fiction, where I grew up and made all these dreams a reality. So you were my final connective mind from your generation with what inspired me. You made my favorite movie of all time, Larry. That's why I call you the Godfather. And then Big Trouble in Little China. My mom grew up playing those on repeat, specifically Big Trouble. And then when I discovered They Live, I think it sent me down the path of really tuning into my brain as a young mind creatively in such a big world that I always saw. And my mind's always been this way since I was little. But because of abuse I had been through from not really having a dad, I couldn't fully tap into the gifts that I was given until I met people like you, like David, like Robert, and all of you guys kind of molded me with your individual traits of understanding of doing this at the highest of levels to put something together of this size and stay focused. David sent me off and you always said you'd show up. I wanted kind of a public account of that. I'm going to shut up. But if there was a private artist controlled studio, this is not executive shit. This is the artist knowing the art from the creation that comes from it. We just broke the matrix because of the streaming platform that we already built. And you see, David came to that meeting and you came to the Piney Woods meeting. You two are the connective points. And that video from that meeting with David and the Zoom call that we already had with Piney Woods, that's going public on a loop for 24 hours that a Delaware judge hopefully will see. And once that happens, nobody can deny that us three rebels raised almost $14 billion. And that was all real. I had to go to New York and put that together once Tommy Bina gave me the Canyon Country brand. Michael Orsini told me to focus on one thing. I picked the book Spontaneous Evolution about biology and science to produce the biggest event since Live Aid, maybe bigger, and launched a streaming platform to host it. And then went and stood in front of Universal, Disney, the wide world of sports in Florida, and called them all out to participate with their billions of dollars to get back to the earth that creates that money in the first place.
Wow.
They
Well,
live in real life, Larry.
good for you. Yeah. Yeah. Way to go, Will. Keep
So
plugging.
I'm gonna shut up, please. Will you share? I've tapped into something creatively that I used to always operate in fear, but then I've been through so much since I got baptized, as I've shared with you offline numerous times. Will you share some of just what you've seen from me in the evolution from kind of when you met me to today on understanding what's in front of me, but also how to connect and communicate this forward? Because David was always the person having to kill my ego. And I mean that in the best way possible, Mr. Womark.
Yes. No, I get it. I get it. It's called keeping you grounded.
Yeah,
Yeah, we got to keep you grounded, Will. It's all good.
I know. Um,
It's all good.
Thank
All
you.
right. So what's next, Will?
So I am going to spend next week with Danny Falcone starting Monday. I am putting this part 2 of the Final Reckoning out over the weekend, probably around Father's Day, to thank all of you for what we've created.
Great.
This is already structured. The nonprofits are set up. I have filmed an entire promotional campaign for it, showcasing all the land, the people. Martin Kleba's involved. He's going to bring in Chris Pratt. I've already been talking about Robert Russler getting Downey. So, David, I need you to guide all that as soon as that starts, because I got to start focusing on some of these other pieces, specifically getting the designs done, because we're going to be able to break ground. Because I met an architectural engineer and real estate developer in my hometown, just outside of it, who moved all of this forward and is moving it forward with his own ownership groups. And Malka is behind the film side, which ultimately is being done as a nonprofit. So, and Jim still cooked up something with the city of New Orleans, and that's the date the streaming platform launches, which is already built, the anniversary of Hurricane Katrina. That's how I'm going to honor that city that gave so much back to me.
Oh, wow.
And I'm retiring fully as a film producer. I'm going out on that legacy. Mine connected to RZA, literally making that movie, managing now YDB and film and TV when Danny Hamilton reps him in music. You guys are both going to get what you've waited a year for, the full ecosystem overview from a marketing team. Larry, you know I never come to you to get on any call unless it's
No,
like
I know.
pushing forward. And
Yeah.
I spent the last several weeks publicly talking about going through the levels of life and never once having been on a call with you or David, because I hadn't got myself to the position to where I could actually see what that would be through until the end. And that's why David's almost been kind of the, it's like the, not the Scrooge story, but you know, the wise men that come and constantly check in to make sure you're taking the right steps. Um, I'm just excited because I had to walk through so much. And I mean, from getting a bullet fired at me, that I didn't know where this was culminating. But it's basically a platform now moving forward that prevents abuse and abuse in our business, and is kind of massive because everybody that's running it has been through dark points in their life and through the decades that everybody's lived. And now it's shining nothing but positivity. And if we've really structured this in the manner that I'm saying to you guys, it changes everything forever, pretty much instantaneously, because of the scope and size of this event that we've curated, Larry.
Right. Well,
So
I like I said 100 times, Will, I'm behind you 100%. I'll do whatever you need me to do to get this off the ground.
thank you.
So
Yeah.
you just tell me what you want me to do, and I'd be very happy to do it. But you, and I've said this to you before, and you know this very well. I said I don't want to take any more meetings that don't go anywhere. I'd love to be the closer guy. I'd like to be the guy that, you know, you can
That's
depend on, that's going to stand there and say, yeah, I can fucking do this, or whatever the fuck it is you think I can do. But,
that's
you
what
know,
it
I
is.
don't, it's just, it gets to be too much. And I think David can speak the same as me. I'm sure he has spoken the same as you. I mean, some of this stuff is great and going places, and some of it just kind of dead ends. And I just
It
want to
was
make sure that what's happening is something that's really it. But I'm willing to do whatever you need to do it.
Thank you, Larry. And just to
Okay.
reassure you, you're the one person that I'll stop and just listen to even the constructive criticism from. I had to shovel through a lot and shake a lot of trees loose of
Yeah, no.
bad intentions. Um, there's way too much now in front of us. I have signed land ownership deals that, when you put the land together and the locations, makes it worth more than Paramount
Yeah.
based on just the land. So that being said, I was able to actually put that together, and I have a recorded call with Michael Orsini that I'm playing at the end of this documentary, and I already called him about it and told him I was going to do all this. And they back setting up the fund. They're structuring a non-depletion fund based on how they trade.
What is that? What is a non-depletion fund?
You have the voicemail. I don't want to get into that right now because that's Michael's side.
Yeah.
See, that's not my role that I'm playing anymore.
Got
Thank
it.
God.
No, I'm just
Everybody,
curious.
Larry, I basically need you to be the godfather of all of the IP and
Okay.
and look through it from your starship and let me know what we should position where. And also something that you've been passionate about making forever that we've talked about that takes place on the ocean. Blake Leon is in the middle of scooping up the rights, and he also designed our entire theme park, and I found the land in Chiefland. I'm building a movie studio in Disney's backyard, and it's real, and it's a hotel, and it's like playing in Hollywood, but better at a drive-in movie theater. So we're all running and overseeing all that now, and I have the money. That's why I'm doing these phone calls, because I was not playing anymore. I'll send you guys what hopefully Bloomberg's putting out.
Okay.
And it's Larry. This is the real deal, bro.
Okay. I'm in. Let's go.
Awesome. Let's go.
Thank you guys.
Okay.
David,
All right,
thanks for showing up.
hang in
And
there.
as
Yes.
soon as I'm back, we're going in. I'm getting us inside Universal. And we are making that franchise breathe
Whoa.
and live again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you, Larry.
Okay.
God bless.
All right, Will.
Love you guys.
God love you too.
Talk
Good
to you
luck.
soon.
We're with
Thank
you.
We're
you.
here.
Thanks for always taking the energy. I love you. Thank
We're
you.
here. See ya.
Ciao, guys.
Bye. Bye, David.